Right, today we are going to parse the datetime raw data into the standardized and clean data. And here we've got a raw data here that it contains several error data. For instance, like known type, the string format that is definitely invalid to be parsed as well. And here we've got like 13th month, so it would be counted as invalid to be parsed. So we are going to build a function that supports this format, and that function would return the datetime object and then parsing them into the string. So it means like the format date in standardized. So we've write a class datetime here, and we've written the function here, and these are the first of filter in this function. So if the raw date is known, it would be written as known, and if the raw data isn't list form data type, it would return an empty list. And also I've defined a datetime date here as the place of clean data. So let's begin. First of all, we have to fetch all of this row by writing this is a for looping. And this, if conditional, would process the known type, as you can see here, is a known type. So that row would be continued, so the program wouldn't be crashed as well. So after that, for format. After that, we are going to iterate all of this format into the looping. So this looping is intended to match whether the row has valid format to be parsed or not. So if the row isn't matched with one of these formats, that would be counted as invalid format to be parsed. And then we write try here. And we write string first time string parse time, so its function is intended to parse the valid format into the datetime as well. and we are going to take the value of the date, and the format is if empty, which is the loop in here. And then if the row is passed clearly into the data time, so that time would be passed again into the string format, but in the standardized format. So the standard format here is date, month, and year. So we are going to add that cleaned into this variable. But before this looping, we have to write past false here. It's used for the mark here, so we could mark the row whether it could be passed or not. So if the row is passed as well, so the mark would be passed true. And then we write a break statement here. So if the row is passed clearly, so the another row wouldn't be iterated. For example, like this one, for instance, and this row is actually matched with this format, right? And this also could be valid value to be passed into the date time, and also would pass again into this format, and then that row would be added in this list. So that row would be marked as passed, is true. And then this line gives a break statement, so that row couldn't be found in another iteration. So this logic wouldn't match that row again into the next iteration, into this or this, because in the first iteration that is already matched. So what if there is error value? So the string format is not matched with one of these, for instance, like here. So it would be passed in here. So that row wouldn't be processed at all. So the rows that aren't passed as well would counted in this if statement. At the end of the line, we have to return the list that contains valid datetime. And we finally could test that function. Shall we write the function's name, take parsing, and the data is data. So here we go. That function would return the printer failed to parse because there is no 13th month in the year, and also we failed to parse killbot because this is not a valid format to be parsed into the datetime as well. And we are going to look for the clean data. And here we go. There's 2 rows that succeed to be parsed. And that's it. How to be parsed data string into the standardized datetime format. See you later to the next video.